Have you ever looked around at people your age and thought, wow, they seem to be slowing down, but I still feel like I've got so much life left in me? If so, you might just be one of those rare jewels, someone who's aging exceptionally well. And if you're between 65 and 80 and can still do certain things without much trouble, you're not just lucky, you're proof that age really is just a number. Today, we're going to talk about 8 special signs that show you're aging in an extraordinary way. These aren't just random things, they're markers of vitality, resilience, and a life well lived. And if you recognize yourself in even a few of them, give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing something right. Now, let's start with the first one, because this is something many people struggle with as they get older, but if you've still got it, it's a big deal. 1. You can still move with ease. How often do you get up from a chair without thinking twice? Or bend down to tie your shoes without groaning? If these everyday movements still feel smooth and natural, you're already ahead of the game. A lot of folks your age start feeling stiff, achy, or hesitant with movement, maybe because of arthritis, weaker muscles, or just not staying active. But if you're still flexible, balanced, and able to move without pain, that's a huge sign of exceptional aging. Think about it. How many people do you know who say things like, "Oh, I can't do that anymore" when it comes to gardening, dancing, or even just walking around the block? But if you're still doing those things, maybe even enjoying them, then your body is clearly on your side. And here's the best part, it's never too late to keep it that way. Simple habits like stretching every morning, taking short walks, or even doing light strength exercises can help you stay mobile for years to come. 2. You have a strong social life. Now, let's talk about something just as important as physical health, your connections with others. If you're someone who still enjoys meeting up with friends, calling family regularly, or even making new friends, you're nurturing your mind and heart in a way that many people neglect. Loneliness can sneak up on us as we get older. Kids move away, friends pass on, and suddenly, it's easy to feel isolated. But if you're the kind of person who still seeks out conversation, laughter, and companionship, you're protecting yourself from one of the biggest risks to aging well, emotional decline. Studies show that seniors with strong social ties tend to have better memory, sharper minds, and even longer lives. So if you're still the one organizing coffee dates, book clubs, or even just phone catch-ups, keep it up. You're not just filling your time, you're investing in your future. 3. You stay curious and keep learning. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you learned something new? Maybe you picked up a book on a topic you knew nothing about, tried a new recipe, or even started using a smartphone app you'd never heard of before. If that sounds like you, then you've got another key trait of exceptional aging, a curious, active mind. Some people think that once you hit a certain age, you stop growing. But that's just not true. The people who stay sharp, engaged, and excited about life are the ones who never stop learning. It doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe you're into crossword puzzles, listening to podcasts, or even taking a class at your local community center. The point is, you're using your brain in new ways, and that keeps it strong. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. But if you challenge it, even in small ways, it stays resilient. So if you're someone who still asks questions, explores new hobbies, or even just stays open to new ideas, you're doing your future self a huge favor. Now, these are just the first 3 signs, but already, you can see how special they are. If you're still moving well, staying connected, and keeping your mind active, you're already aging in a way that many people hope to. And the best part? There's still so much more to talk about. So, let's keep going, because the next few signs might surprise you even more. You know, it's funny, when we're younger, we often take so many things for granted. But as the years go by, we start to realize just how precious certain abilities really are. And if you're someone who's managed to hold on to them, well, that's something worth celebrating. So, let's pick up where we left off and dive into the next few signs that you're aging exceptionally well. Because if these still come easily to you, my friend, you're not just getting older, you're getting better. 4. You sleep well, most nights. Raise your hand if you still sleep through the night like a baby. No? Well, if you do, consider yourself lucky, because good sleep is like gold as we age. A lot of people assume tossing and turning is just part of getting older, but that's not necessarily true. If you're someone who falls asleep easily, stays asleep, and wakes up feeling refreshed, your body is giving you a standing ovation. Think about it. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired. It can mess with your mood, your memory, even your immune system. But if you've held on to healthy sleep habits, maybe you still avoid caffeine late in the day, keep a regular bedtime, or wind down with a good book instead of a screen, you're giving your body one of the best gifts possible. And if sleep has become a struggle, don't worry. Small changes, like cutting back on naps or making your bedroom a little darker, can make a big difference. Because quality rest isn't a luxury, it's fuel for everything else you want to do. 5. You can still laugh at yourself. Here's one you might not expect. How's your sense of humor these days? If you can still crack a joke, find the funny side of things, or even laugh at your own little mishaps, like forgetting where you put your glasses, again, that's a huge sign of resilience. Life throws curveballs at every age, but as we get older, those curveballs can sometimes feel heavier. Health scares, losses, changes, they can all weigh on us. But if you're the kind of person who can still chuckle at life's absurdities, or who doesn't take yourself too seriously, you've got a secret weapon against stress. Laughter isn't just good for the soul, it's good for your body, too. It lowers stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and even helps your blood flow better. So if you're still quick to smile or share a funny story, keep it up. You're not just spreading joy, you're protecting your health. 6. You handle stress without falling apart. Now, let's talk about something we all face but rarely brag about: stress. Whether it's a family disagreement, a financial worry, or just the frustration of technology that seems to change every 5 minutes, stress doesn't disappear as we age. But here's the thing: if you're someone who can take life's ups and downs in stride without letting them knock you off your feet, you've got a rare superpower. Some people let every little thing send them into a tailspin. But if you've learned to take a deep breath, step back, and tackle problems calmly, you're doing more than just keeping your cool. You're protecting your heart, your brain, and your overall well-being. Maybe you've developed little tricks over the years: a walk outside when things feel overwhelming, a phone call to a friend, or even just reminding yourself, this too shall pass. However you do it, that ability to stay steady is a massive sign of exceptional aging. Because let's be honest, life doesn't get simpler. But if you figured out how to navigate it without constant worry or panic, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Now, we've covered 6 signs so far, and if any of these sound like you, give yourself some credit. You're doing things that many people struggle with as they age. But we're not done yet, because the last 2 might just be the most inspiring of all. You know, as we've been going through these signs of exceptional aging, I'll bet some of you have been nodding along, recognizing yourselves in these habits and traits. And that's wonderful, because what we're really talking about here isn't just luck or good genes. It's about choices, mindset, and the little things you do every day that add up to a life well lived. So let's wrap this up with the final 2 signs, because if these are true for you, it's not just your body or mind that's aging well, it's your spirit. 7. You still have dreams, and maybe even new ones. When was the last time you caught yourself saying, "One day, I'd love to"? If you're someone who still has goals, whether it's traveling somewhere new, picking up a hobby you've always wanted to try, or even just planting a garden next spring, that's a powerful sign of youthfulness. Too many people hit a certain age and stop dreaming. They start thinking, "What's the point?" or "It's too late for that." But not you. If you've held onto that sense of excitement for the future, no matter how big or small the dream, you're keeping something precious alive: hope. Maybe you've even surprised yourself lately, discovering new interests you never had time for before, or realizing that age hasn't dimmed your curiosity one bit. That's exceptional aging in action. Because when you stop looking forward, life can start feeling smaller. But you're proof that the next chapter can be just as vibrant as the last. 8. You feel grateful more often than not. Here's the last sign, and in many ways, it's the most important. If you find yourself pausing sometimes to appreciate the good things in your life, a sunny morning, a kind word from a friend, the comfort of a familiar routine, you're doing something extraordinary. Gratitude isn't just a nice idea. It's like a superpower for happiness, especially as we get older. Life inevitably brings losses, people we miss, abilities that change, moments we can't relive. But if you're someone who can still focus on what you have rather than what slipped away, you've cracked the code to aging with grace. Think about it. When you wake up and notice the birds singing instead of grumbling about your stiff knee, or when you feel thankful for a lifetime of memories instead of dwelling on regrets, you're choosing joy. And that choice? It lights you up from the inside. A final thought. So there you have it, 8 signs that you're not just getting older, you're aging like a rare jewel. And if even a few of these ring true for you, take a moment to celebrate that. Because this isn't about comparing yourself to others or chasing some impossible standard of youth. It's about recognizing that you're already doing so much right. Maybe after watching this, you'll think of someone you know who embodies these traits, a friend, a neighbor, or even yourself. And if so, I hope you'll share this video with them, because we could all use a little reminder of how extraordinary aging can be. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these signs resonated most? Or maybe you've got your own secret to aging well, something that's worked for you that others could learn from. Let's keep this conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you live your best life at any age. Remember, getting older isn't about slowing down, it's about shining brighter than ever. Here's to you and the wonderful years ahead.